Wow. Wow. What a time this is to be a Newcastle United fan. Yes, people, welcome back to the Mike White Channel TV. And this article right here I'm going to go through will get you very excited if you're a Newcastle fan. It's called a celebration, really. This should be vodka or a pint, but you know, 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, so we'll settle down for now. Honestly, it is. It's just cause for celebration. I mean, this article that I'm about to read out to you is incredible. So we'll put the specs on, and we're going to run through all of it. For those of you who aren't subscribers to The Athletic, so obviously it's your monthly fee and everything. So I'll run it through for you in fine detail and go through all the huge points of this article, including will we be getting a new stadium? Who will we be signing in the summer? A reflection on who we nearly signed in January. The hopes for Eddie Howe, the plans for the women's team, the training facilities, all of that, Shearer's statue, Shearer's bar, and so much more. So sit back and enjoy this one. Before we do get into this one, if you would like a chance to win a signed Alan Shearer shirt, now I'm sure, yeah, everyone does. Do you mean who wouldn't? Even the Mackhams would want that, wouldn't you? England legend. You just sell it on, make some profit. Do you know what I mean? Check it out in the link in the description. We've teamed up with football prizes for this one. I've got loads of other good stuff on the website as well, even Messi merchandise. So if that's your thing, get involved. Code MAGPIE10 is the discount for that one. Keep an eye on more brilliant raffles coming up, but this one ends this Friday the 4th at 7:30. Now then, let's get involved. Let's jump in to this article, because I don't want this to be a lengthy video. We're all busy, but it probably will be, because there is a lot to go through and a lot to get very excited about if you're a Newcastle fan, and if you're any other fan, very jealous about. Because as the title suggests, these new owners are not messing around. They're not here just for the little, ooh, we'll finish top 10, we'll try and get a cup. We're not here to take part, we're here to take over. Conor McGregor style, yeah? Notorious Stavely. She spoke to The Athletic the other day, her and her husband, Mehrdad Gudassi. And the first thing that they've popped out from the headline here, we'd love Eddie Howe to be the next Alex Ferguson. So obviously putting a lot of praise on Eddie Howe's impact so far, and the hope that he can continue it for the long term. Because I was on the debate shows last week on DR Sports, saying, do you think you could get Conte in the summer? Would you move for a Conte or a Mourinho or a bigger name manager if they became available? Check out that if you want to see my reaction to all that sort of stuff. But the owners, obviously, backing Eddie Howe, look to back him again this summer after his incredible start as Newcastle head coach. Now, this article came out on Saturday, just before the game at Brentford, so it wasn't ideal. Didn't have a proper time to read it. Read a bit of it on Sunday. But I'm going to go through it properly from top to bottom now with you. Not every single word. That'd bore the tits off you, doesn't it? And me. Well, it wouldn't actually. I could read this shit all day long. It's nice for some positivity and to be excited for a Newcastle fan for the first time in years. So, the opening line is going on about how Amanda Stavely just a couple of weeks ago travelled to Manchester City. Just have a look around. Just have a look around, she said. You know what I mean? Touch the grass, look at the walls. That's a nice bit of blue paint. Could do with that. Black and white. But she went there. God, I can't wait for our guys to get their trophies, and I can't wait to deliver what our fans really deserve. A world-class training ground and facilities. That's ultimately what we want. Chips in Gudassi, just cutting off his wife there. Just be quiet, man. My time to shine. We want success, Gudassi says. We want success. She went there, see the training facilities and see what they do. And when we got taken over, I said this, and with the money we've got, why can't we become Man City? We are 10 times richer than Man City. All we need to do is literally what Amanda's doing. Go down the road to Manchester and copy every single thing they've done. Why wouldn't you? Copy the Manchester City blueprint and we'll have success. I'm surprised Man City let her in. They're obviously not taking her seriously. 5 years' time, 10 years' time, they'll be thinking, bollocks, we shouldn't have let Amanda in, should we? Eh? We'll give it all away, yeah? You know what I mean? Who's the snake? Who's the snake who's dishing out all the secrets, yeah? On the cookbooks. The Man City cookbook. That's what we've been after. Now I can't believe they let her in for that. Because she's went there, took all her notes. See, in 10 years' time, you cunts. Like, she's just gonna, this is what we need to do. We copy Man City's blueprint. They've shown the way. The Etihad campus, the training ground, the academy, the women's team, the success on the pitch, off the pitch, around the globe, the management, everything. They've nailed it. They've had the money and they've nailed it. Copy it and we've won it. Not like a bit of plagiarism, is there? Lovely stuff. I wasn't bullshitting in the title. It was not clickbait. Gudassi says There is no reason why Newcastle in the next 5 years should not be a Man City, a Liverpool or a Chelsea. I mean, how good is that, man? How good is it to hear that your owner wants you to be the best, wants you to be right up there competing? You know what I mean? That's our owner wanted us to be bloody Norwich. Do you know what I mean? Up and down, up and down. Now our new owners want to be Man City. Incredible. So exciting. So exciting. What a time to be alive as a Newcastle fan. Right then. Let's get into these bullet points, and there's quite a fucking few of them. While they do not name him, Dan Ashworth, who is currently on garden leave at Brighton Hove Albion, will be appointed sporting director. So, without actually name dropping him, they pretty much said he's the man that's going to come in. They have had the most incredible candidates come forward for the CEO role, says Staveley. And while they aim to increase the 52,000 capacity at St James's, there are no plans to build a new stadium. It would be like tearing your soul out, says Gudassi. So this is one of the huge points to take away from this interview, is that there is going to be no new St James's Park. That was a lot of the rumours. We've seen projects come up, concepts come up, build a new 70,000, 80,000 seater stadium at the arena site on the quayside, which is about to be demolished. Build one there, build a training ground there, all new fancy shit. Nah, we're going old school, we're keeping it historical, we're keeping the cathedral on the hill. St James's Park is staying there with the look to expand it to 65 to 70,000. That is what Staveley wants to do. We're going to look at every possibility to expand St James's Park. They said they were in talks with the council and things like that, and the people in the city to try and look at a way to be able to expand St James's Park from one way or another. Obviously, most likely the Gallagher end, so it's one big glass roof, which will look big, sexy. The East Stand, there was obviously the issue there with that and the buildings behind it, that they cannot build on that. Lots of stuff to be worked out with that, but in terms of around the Gallagher and make it one big glass roof from the Lees as Millburn and Gallagher, that would be lovely, that would be unreal. Perfect, really, for me, this. Absolutely perfect news, because yes, I've been to the Spurs Stadium and it's unreal, so I would, it'd be amazing to have a brand new stadium there. It's absolutely class. But you can't beat St James's Park. You cannot beat the location, the noise, the history, everything around it. It looks unreal anyways. Just freshen it up, maybe some new seats, give it a big freshen up in the East Stand and everything, because obviously that's been there for years. But if we can get the stand increased around it and just freshen it up and modernise it, that would be amazing, whilst keeping the heart and soul of St James's Park, the history of it, keeping that as it is, because it's a massive part of our lives and our families' lives, and the people who have been supporting the black and white for so many years. It's a mainstay of this city and the club, and to keep it the way it is absolutely brilliant. And then expand it by 10, 15,000. Imagine, man. Imagine that being 65,000. It would be unreal, and it would sell out. There's no issue with that. That's why maybe in 10 years' time, if we are Man City and we are Champions League and we are fighting Premier League every year, then they might have to look at building a new stadium. But obviously, it's way off that. There's no point in looking at that right now. But when it gets there, we would have no issue in selling out, these stadiums. The demand for tickets would be insane. We'd probably turn into the bloody tourist club like Old Trafford, where you've got people coming from China, Africa, America, everywhere to come and watch a game of soccer. So we'll have less of that. But there'll be so many fans and so much attention on us that you could see it in the future. They're obviously ruling it out now. But in terms of building an extension, expanding St James's Park, that would be absolutely class to see, man. I'm all for it. And it would take us up to the next level, to be fair, because I remember when I was growing up, we had that 52,000, and we were like one of the biggest stadiums in the country back then, just behind one or two. But then obviously Arsenal got the Emirates, Liverpool have expanded Anfield, Spurs have got their new stadium, quite a few others. But the risk with the new stadium as well is, look at West Ham, man. West Ham Stadium's dead. I've been on a stadium tour there, and it's a very nice stadium, but it's not a football stadium. That's why it was about the Olympic Stadium. Crap, miles away from the pitch, no atmosphere. And I bet you the majority of West Ham fans would prefer to be back at Upton Park. Old school ground, close to the pitch, makes it difficult for the away team. But yeah, no new stadium yet. Maybe, like I said, way into the future if we're massive, which I'm sure we will be. There will be other changes around the ground though, and obviously the good ones. The placing of Shearer's statue, which was paid for by the family of Freddie Shepherd, Newcastle's former chairman, outside of stadium property. has always felt sad and symbolic, but it will now be brought in. Alan's statue is moving, that's happening. Getting his spot right next to Sir Bobby, Gudassi says, and 9 Bar will be turned into Shearers again. We want our ex-players to play a role, to be ambassadors for this club. Again, fantastic to hear that. The thought of Shearer's statue being right next to the other legend, Sir Bobby Robson, is exactly how it should be. You know what I mean? Exactly how it should be. 2 fathers, 2 legends of the club right next to each other on the actual stadium grounds, not opposite the fucking Tesco, next to a traffic light. You can touch the traffic light button and stroke Shearer's head at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's bollocks. Why is it there? Because of Ashley, that's why. Mike Ashley didn't want it on stadium ground. You know, it's great there that he wants the ex-players to play a role. Such an easy move, which Mike Ashley, I cannot believe how thick he is for being a billionaire. For being a billionaire, for never being able to get in touch with the fans and connect with them, and easy things like this. Get players, ex-players involved to be ambassadors. You could have obviously he fell out with Shearer because the management thing, but like ex-players, you know, Beardsley and Ginola when he's across, and Warren Barton and that. Get them involved. Get them in for pre-match chats before a game. Get them Q&As with the night before a game and in Shearer's bar. So I mean, things like that. Easy steps to be ambassadors for the club. Get them involved. Get sweets at the ground. Not fizzy cola bottles. Like the nice sweets, do you know what I mean, where you sit in them for the game. Get them sort of things. Go and sell tickets with that, and it's just mad how. But it's great to see the new owners actually switched on, connected, and know what they're doing. And there's a brilliant one. You know, everyone has always called it Shearer's Bar. You know, it got changed from Shearer's Bar to 9 Bar because, like I said, the falling out between Ashley and Shearer after the manager's job, where Shearer took over with a few games left in the 2009-2010 season, got us relegated, wanted to come back and stay on and get us up next year in the Championship. They shook hands on it, Mike Ashley and Alan Shearer, and then Mike Ashley wouldn't answer his phone, and Shearer never heard from him again about getting that manager's job. How bad is that? The disrespect from Mike Ashley there, shocking. So yeah, after that happened, and all the grief and back and forth that came with it, Mike Ashley, being the stubborn, horrible man that he is, changed it from Shearer's Bar to 9 Bar. Everyone always referred to it as Shearer's Bar, and it's rocking again now since the takeover, because a lot of people didn't want to drink there. Do you know what I mean? You'd get shit for going in there. You're feeding Mike Ashley, drinking pints in there. So now, obviously, it's much better on match days, every day. Much better. So, yeah, great to see that. That'll be lovely. Get them Shearer's Bar signs back up there, where it belongs. Good name, great name. Hopefully Shearer's there just for a pint on open night as well. Now the new owners are looking at purpose-built sites for a brand new training ground, a world-class training ground. So obviously Stavely at Manchester City last week just thought, I'll have a bit of that please. Want one of them. Ringing up Saudi Arabia, we need one of these. We need one of these please. Sorting that out. That'll probably take 3 years, maybe a little bit more, to have that built, says Gudassi. Now this summer they're on about totally refurbing and renovating the current training ground, which as we all know looks like a primary school from 1999, so that'll be lovely when that actually gets done back up, you know what I mean? Fucking Blue Peter settings and Ant and Deck back in the day used to go there. It's just terrific. It's an absolute shithole for where it is. You know, it's a joke. It hasn't changed in over 15-20 years, that training ground. So that's going to get done up in the summer, whilst they build this other training ground that will take a couple of years, a world-class training ground facilities, which is massive because when players come to sign for your club and you're trying to persuade them and they'll turn up in Newcastle training ground, they'll think you're taking the piss because there's so many other Premier League teams like Brighton who've got great training facilities, brand new modern place, Leicester City, all these teams in Spain, wherever, you know, and with the come to ours and it just looks like a fucking shed, looks like a B&Q. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how Bruno and Trippier and that must have thought, what the hell is this? So you need that. You need to back it up because you can't be like, oh, we're the richest club in the world, and then you turn up this training ground with fucking doors hanging off and wallpaper from back in the day and that. It's mental, man. Amanda, Stavely and Eddie Howe were in Saudi Arabia with the team on that little week trip. Gudassi was on Tyneside modifying Newcastle's training ground. With carpets, new paint, signs, just so when they came back there'd be a change. I'm creased me at the thought of Gudassi just sitting there, overalls on, paintbrush in hand, just doing up the training ground, I mean, making it nice and fresh for the lads coming back. Oh, what an image that is. Someone should have been taking pictures of that. Fantastic. We want to develop an all-encompassing facility that includes the academy, the women's team, first team, sports science, everything you'd see at one of the top 6 clubs. That's what will help drive the football unreal. That's what I'm talking about. I've been talking about that since day one, since the takeover went through, that this is what we need. When you look at Man City, even Leicester City, as he mentions there, they've got, it's just like a campus, innit? One big facility with everything under these roofs, under this one location. Kieran Trippier isn't someone we will ever sell. Stavely says their recent signing from Atletico Madrid. If he can play, he will stay. With the Rangers as well, Stavely. Dropping bombs, dropping bars. Other January targets like Botman and Lingard wanted to come to Tyneside, and Botman, the Lille defender, still does very much. And Botman does very much want to come to Tyneside. Still, he mentioned it just last week in another press conference when he said his time will end this summer in France. AC Milan and Newcastle linked. I guarantee he's coming to Newcastle in the summer. This is brilliant to see as well. Newcastle's women's team will be paid as professionals, says Stavely, and they want them to play at St James's this season. This season, Stavely wants the women to play at St James's. All for that, like, I was at the women's game last month at Kingston Park. What was the attendance there? A couple of thousand. You know, it was great to see. You had war flags there, creating an atmosphere. So the more we can push the women's game, the better, I think. Paying them properly, getting them involved, getting a big backing. Outstanding. Love to see that. Nice little dig here though from Stavely. Lovely. We've seen my video the other day on Fraser digging at Bruce, and she said here, in my opinion, we weren't fit enough. The lads weren't fit enough. They didn't have intense training. They were disjointed, not working together. They weren't united. Wow. What a dig that is by Stavely at Bruce. Goodness me. Saying he ultimately needed to go. Wish they acted quicker. Fucking hell. Nice honesty there, I like it, Stavely, well said. That's it then, so, you know, there's a big article there, a lot to go through, hope you've enjoyed it, loads of great points put forward by Stephen Kudasi, loads of exciting things to look forward on, still got a hard on reading that, so it's amazing. It's an amazing time to be a Newcastle fan, isn't it? You know, new training ground coming, refurb on the current training ground, extension to St James's Park, Shearer's statue being moved in '96 to Sir Bobby Robson's, Shearer's bar being renamed again from 9 Bar, talking, bigging up Trippier being the next Shearer, been there for years, talking about Botman and Lingard wanting to come in January, probably going to come in the summer, as well as fucking loads of other players. Eddie Howe being the next Alex Ferguson, Dan Ashworth coming in, loads and loads of stuff there, loads and loads of exciting things to look forward to in the future for Newcastle United, hopefully. You know, amazing stuff. It is unreal, like, it still doesn't really sink in, to be honest with you, after going through that Mike Ashley era to now. It's just mental, absolutely mental. Love it. Looking forward to the future as a Newcastle United fan. Happy days. Happy days are coming. Fingers crossed. Let me know your thoughts, what you think of Amanda Stavely and where Kudasi's plans there. Drop your comments below. Subscribe to my channel TV and enjoy yourself.